It's always fun. Okay. Let me make sure it's live. I think it's coming up. Let me check. Hello, everyone. Oh, it shows 0 people watching. Hang on. Let's see if it pops up.
I'm like, you're always good about that. I feel like I'm just like, since I have to do it on my side at a different angle.
Oh, yeah. Okay, there we go. If you're here, say hi in the comments. We're just here for some reading sprints. If you want to be productive and like do stuff, that's totally fine too. You can do that, but I'm gonna read. Hi. Welcome. I have Carrie. Bree couldn't make it, and then Crystal's gonna join us in a little bit. So yeah, we'll just have fun. Hi, Lexi. Hey, Ashley. Whoa, all the comments came up. There we go. Hi, everyone. Let me know what you're reading in the comments. Hi, Jess. Carrie, what are you reading?
I am reading, I can never say this. Tijan, is that how you say her name? Okay.
I say Tijan, but I've heard it's Tijan.
Yeah, okay. It's I feel so bad for authors because I just sit there and I butcher authors' names all the time. So I feel really bad about that. But I think you've read this one, Tori, because when I looked it up on Goodreads, you showed a higher rating for it, but it's Teardrop Shot.
Oh, I read that a while ago. Yeah.
So I was like, I haven't heard a ton about it. I really like Tijan because I read In Ryan's Bed. I thought that was a fabulous book. Great twist at the end. So I wanted to give this one a go.
Oh yeah, no, I like them. I have a new audio from them that's in KU that you can read and listen. I have that downloaded. I'm gonna read it this week.
Oh, awesome! Yeah. Is that which one from her is that?
Dirty Business, I think it's Dirty Business something. I have to look at the title, but released. I have to read the second and third book in this series. This is the Off Balance series. I'm reading From Blood and Ash. I have to read that too. Culty.
Good one. Very good one.
Holly Black.
Holly Black is fabulous. Honestly.
I haven't read that series. I read the first book and I just did not like it. I was like,
The Cruel Prince?
Yeah.
I just, you know what? It's not like a romance so much as it is like a fae world. But the deal she makes in that is top notch. Like the second one, I think won like the book choice award or for Goodreads. It won the category or the
fantasy category or YA category. Oh,
I think it was the YA category maybe. But yeah, she took it home. It was a pretty good book, that book too.
They have a little bit of ACOWAR. It's a good one. Horde King. Funny Feelings. I have to read this as well for my book club.
Oh, I just finished that.
I've heard a lot of good things. I'm excited. Mile High. Long Way Down. Is that? Oh yeah, that's in the Addicted series, Calloway Sister series.
Yeah. I attempted the Addicted series. I'm probably like unpopular opinion, but it was a lot of drama for me.
It is. It's a lot. Ooh, ACOWAR in 3 days. Yeah, that one's a good one. Colton Hayes memoir. Oh, I don't know what that is. You hear my dog in the background. Too Close, Too Perfect.
I think my cat was just scratching at my door too. So she's like, let me in. I heard a lot of good things about Restore Me.
Yeah, I wasn't in I tried to read it, but I wasn't in the right mind to read it. And the narrator is the female narrator is so bad. So it ruined the experience. But I have to read Quarter Miles too. Oh, isn't it romantic? Oh, I have The Daughter of No World. That's a fantasy.
Right. That's the one by that new author that did, isn't that by
Clarissa Broadbent. Yeah.
Yes, I need to read that. I'm saving that for Pharaoh Feb. So.
Oh, yeah, perfect. Yeah. Ooh, Binding. Oh, speaking of Binding 13, I'm reading Keeping 13, which is the second book.
Oh, nice.
It's more of I don't know how to describe it. It's more like contemporary.
Right.
She's 15 going on 16 and he's 17.
And that's cute.
It's not spicy. It's just a very I think it was written in 2014. So it's very much that coming of age, what she's
Right.
doing, what she's going. Yeah, it's really sweet. I really liked
Is
it.
it YA?
Kind of. I mean, the banter is really funny. Like it takes place in Ireland, so the narration's
Oh,
actually really good. I'm listening and I'm reading along to it. But yeah, it takes place in Ireland. He's a rugby player, so they cuss a lot. Like they act like a lot older than what they are.
right. Okay. That sounds good. I like anything in Ireland. Like,
Yeah, me too. I didn't know when I picked it up that was in Ireland, so I was really excited. And the narration, they have like Irish accents, and it's really good.
yeah, I have to tell you about narration. I just finished, what did I just finish? Where I feel like the narration made the book better than what it was.
Oh, yeah,
Um,
that happens
I think it
sometimes.
was Holding On to Hope by A.L. Jackson.
Oh,
Um,
do I have that one?
yeah, I mean, it had every trope that I disliked in it, but I actually enjoyed the book, which is really interesting. I don't even know how to rate it. Like, I'm like not sure how to rate this one.
Oh, I have Give Me a Reason by A.L. Jackson. I have that one.
Right. She has a few out, but it was one of those moments where it's like I'm scared to recommend it because I know people won't love it, but
Mm,
the narration just totally sold it for me.
Wild. Oh, this is her new one. Oh, Jess has an arc of it. I forgot she has that.
I know a lot of my friends are getting arcs, and I'm like, when does that
I
come
know. I'm like, where's my arcs? I want an arc.
out? Right. The
HR
Cool
by
Kids Club.
right. Last book in the Runaway series. Jane Frost. Yeah, Miko is just barking up a storm today. I don't understand. Don't understand. I have King of the Court on KU. I want to read it soon.
Hey, Melissa.
I'm really behind on comments. I'm sorry. I'm trying to go.
No, that's okay. I don't have them up.
Um, yeah, also it's a very heavy book, and so like I got like 20% into it, I think, maybe 10 or something like that with the narration. And I was like, okay, I don't think I'm in the right headspace for this. Like it's extremely emotional. So I'm gonna go back and physically read it probably like, I don't know, maybe another time, like when I really am looking to cry, because I feel like that's gonna make me cry. Clay Cake. I don't think I've read anything by her. Oh, hi Zay. I'm so excited.
Hey, Jay.
I wanted to physically read it, so I had Brennan order it for me because he had the Prime or Prime, Amazon Prime or whatever. So I'm like this far in. I've only 16 chapters, 100 pages. It's really thick. It's super big.
Well, now that everybody's reading it,
I know.
this is going to be the new blow up book, I feel like.
What are your choices? What do you want to read? Oh my God,
Yeah.
yes. Which makes me sad. Like, I know trying to get audios done, like for an author, is really, really hard and it takes a long time, especially if you want the good narrators. It takes a while to like book them out. And like the male narration was really good, but she sounded like literally like Alexa was reading to me. And I was like, what is happening? I had to make
At
sure.
that point, you should just have your phone read to you because you could
Exactly.
save that credit.
Exactly. Hi. Hey, Victoria. What are you cooking? But yeah, it was, narration can make or break a book, honestly. Like,
Oh, 100%. I'll tell you what, that one by A.L. Jackson, I would have probably rated it a 2 if Zachary Weber and what is it, Andy Arden didn't take over and just like make it amazing because
yeah.
that's what they did.
Oh, I
So,
read a book recently. Who did it? Who was the
because I have so many like audio narrators I just absolutely love. Like
I just
they
read
are
one that had Zachary Weber and Andy Arndt, and I'm trying to figure out what book it was because the narration was so good. I loved it so
they
much.
are a chef's kiss together.
Oh,
They
they
are
love.
good together. Callie Dalton and Teddy Hamilton, they are a really great duet. Like these people need to like advertise them together. You know what I mean? They just play off each other so well.
Oh my gosh, I can't find it. No. Oh my gosh, I can't find it. Oh, comments. Hang on. Always Been You is a good one. Very steamy. I vote Love Light Farms. Love Light Farms was really good.
That
That's just my personal opinion, though.
was cute. Lovely
Yeah,
Farms was cute.
it was really cute. See, I can't. I've tried Regina Abel, and I just can't. I I can't get into her. I just can't do the whole like weird alien things.
I've heard really
Um,
great things about Lucy.
yeah, For Lucy is one I didn't expect it to be so like emotional. So when
Right.
I saw Cheyenne post about it, and I have the Hello Lovely copy on my shelf, and I was able to get Hoopla. I think it was through Hoopla,
Mhm.
the audio. And I remember reading it, and I was working, and I had to like take a step back and just like tear up for a second because it was really, really heavy. I think you might like it.
See, I get nervous because whenever somebody says it's, like, really heavy, like, I don't wanna cry.
It's heavy. It deals with a child. I'll say that.
Okay.
So I know Sam was reading it on sprints one time, and she was crying at the end of the book.
Oh, I'm sure. She's just tearing up through this sprint. You're like, "Sam, are you okay over there?"
Yeah. Flawless is a good one. Have you listened to Flawless yet?
No, I'm saving it till next month because I'm gonna, because Valentine's Day, so I was
Oh,
gonna read Flawless, Powerless? Is it Power wait, no, what's book 2? Heartless, and then Powerless.
yeah.
When does Powerless come out again? Do we know?
February 7th, I think.
Okay, yeah. See, I was gonna read all 3, like, all in a row.
I hope so, that she's gonna have the narration out at the same time because she posted
Right,
those teasers of Powerless, yeah. So I'm
right.
hoping that she can just send it to Audible and, like, publish it, and it'll go at the same time because I know it's
Same
hard
time.
to not read a audiobook when it comes out, like, when the ebook just comes out.
Right. So, I figured it's a good Valentine's Day.
Mhm. Hello. Hi, Monica.
Hello.
Um, so the story for Binding 13 is like their story is just 2 books. It's Binding 13 and Keeping 13. I would recommend it, but I don't know if everyone's gonna love it because it's more there's like trigger warnings for abuse, like physical and emotional abuse. Our female character, she's being abused at home. So she goes to school and she meets Johnny, and he is a rugby player, very popular. She is not. And it's more of like coming of age, what she's doing. It's a very slow burn, but I love like the characters. I love her journey. I love Johnny's journey. Like it's a very like contemporary-esque. It's not spicy, it's not steamy, it's not like anything like that. But the banter between the friends is like the friend group is really funny. And it takes place in Ireland, and I like that. So yeah, I don't know. I would recommend it if that sounds good to you, but it's not gonna be for everyone, if that makes sense. It's more
Would you
character driven.
would you say that audiobooks are pretty solid with those?
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. They're 2 parts, so they're so long. For book 1, the first part is like 14 hours, and the second
Oh,
part is
wow.
10 hours.
And that's for 1 book?
And that's for 1 book, yeah. They're
Dang, is that
oh,
like 1,000 pages?
so it's this thick. This is book 2, and it's like almost 600 pages, but the font, let me see if I can do
Really tiny.
it, is really
Oh,
tiny.
yeah. That'd be 1,000 pages
Yeah,
from,
yeah.
like, a normal font.
I think the Kindle of book 1 is 887 pages. So, yeah.
That's a lot of pages.
Yeah, so I don't know if I'd recommend it to, like, everyone, but, like, I love it. I'm loving it, so I don't
It's
know.
so funny because I'm already behind in my Goodreads challenge or whatever. I don't even care. But it's really because I'm reading a ton of fantasies and they're so bloomin' long, which the historicals and some of the contemporaries are pretty short. So it's like I could shell those out in a day. But like fantasies take a couple days.
Oh, yeah, yeah, yeah. Like, I won't finish this book today. Like, I think Binding 13, I listened to it while I was working a little bit, but I had to slow it down a lot more because their accents, like, when you speed it up too much, like, you can't understand them. Um,
Right.
I think I listened to it on, like, 2 times speed, 2.2, I think, and
That's still
usually
pretty
I
quick.
yeah, sometimes I do, like, 2.5, 2.8, depending.
Right.
And then I think Binding 13 took me like 3 days do to read. So,
Okay.
and I just started the audio last night. I'm only 100 pages into this book, so it might take me a
Gotcha.
couple days. Yeah. Oh, I'm hoping she is. Oh, wait, Powerless comes out the 10th. I knew it was like that week. It's like the second week of February.
Yay, I'm excited. Yeah, I'm literally gonna read boom, 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 get all 3 of them done, and then, because it's one of those ones where I know I'm gonna love it. Everybody loves it.
Yeah.
I know.
Yeah.
It's pretty much a 5 star.
Do you want to, excuse me, do you want to read for a little bit?
Yeah, absolutely. That'd be great.
Okay, I'm going to, I have the kitty. Where is it at?
So funny. I don't even know how to work any of those, Tori.
I have the kitty, the little kitty. Oh, Melissa asked teenage love. Yeah, so she's 15 going on 16. She turned 16 in the first book. And then our main male character, he's 17. And they're at the same school. In like Ireland and the UK, they do school differently. So I don't know like everything, but she's a third year and he's a fifth year. Whatever that means. Oh, this is Jennifer Hartman's new book. I haven't read this one. I think I'm gonna get to it in February. So
Wait, has it come out already?
yeah, it literally just came out.
Okay, yeah. Because
Yeah.
I saw everybody again have the arcs of
Yeah.
it, and I'm like, with.
Yeah. But yeah, we'll just read for 25 minutes and then we'll catch up and see how it's going.
Sounds great.
Hello.
Hey.
How'd your reading go?
Went good.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm at the part where she finds out who the basketball camp is, I guess is a good way to put it.
Basketball camp, and then she sees like the main hero and starts asking him a bunch of like ridiculous questions because she's so nervous. So I thought that was cute.
Aw.
So how's yours?
Good. I got 15 pages in, but they're like long pages. So
right.
Nonfiction for the month or finishing. Isn't that part of the Hades Hangman series by Tilly Cole?
I'm trying to think because I read all those books, but you know me, I don't remember titles or anything like that. So
that's funny.
Yeah, I'm thinking you're right.
I want to read Tegan Hunter. I've heard a lot of good things about that author.
I do want to read the Off Balance series, even though I don't do a lot of like age gap like that. I do want to read that series. I'm just gonna miss the readathon that's happening.
Yeah. I will say, when I read that book back in 2019, she was 14 going on 15, and he was 32.
Okay.
And that was like it's coach athlete type thing.
Mm-hmm.
And that like there was just so many things in that book that I was like, no, like that I can't do it, right? Well, I reread it. I reread the first book, and I will say she took out all the parts that I had a problem with.
Oh, okay, cool.
She's 16 in the book.
Right.
Now, which I mean is still really young, but I can get on board more than 14.
Right. 100%.
Yeah, so when I reread it, all of the things I didn't like about the book like was completely changed. So thankfully
I wonder if she did that because at the time wasn't that scandal going on with the gymnastics people? Yeah. I'm like, just bad timing at that point.
It is, yeah, it is. Yeah. I felt bad because it's for her, it was just really bad timing.
Right.
Hi. Our Secrets and Scars. I don't think I've heard of that. Yeah, sorry about the meow. Oh, it is part of it. That's the Hades Hangman series is one that I want to finish this year. I'm on book 4. So I think I have 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So 5 books left.
I liked it, but I liked her Scarred Soul series better. But I mean, I like that whole Fight Club type aspect.
I mean, I do like that too. I don't know. I haven't read that many things from her. I read 1,000 Boy Kisses, which is not a romance, and I was so mad.
That thing ruined me. It ruined me.
Definitely not a romance. And then I read the Hades Hangman series, and I think that's it really that I've read. So I want to read more by her.
I've read the Scarred Soul. I read those, and then I read the Scarred Soul series, and I think I've read one other. But again, like I have to go back. If I didn't have Goodreads, the odds are going to be like I'll run into that book again and be like, oh, I wonder what this is about.
That's funny. Yeah, I have the audio for Balance and Execution, which is book 1 and 2. But the live show is this week. It's coming up this week. So I have to read books 2 and 3 before the live show. So I might have to get the audio for book 3 if I finish it. Because those are long books. They're like 600 pages each.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. House of the Sky Empress. That's a good one.
DM us when you're done, because you'll have all sorts of things to say.
Yeah. Did you listen to the graphic audios of ACOTAR?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, you did?
Oh, yeah. It's like a movie in your ear. Like,
yeah. She's
my favorite of all time. Like, I jumped on that bandwagon so fast.
I'm gonna do it when who's doing the read along?
It's Jess from Honest Fiction, Jessica from Peace Love Books, Christy, Sam. I'm missing 2 others. Who am I missing?
There's a lot of people doing it. Yeah. Oh, Crystal's here.
Hi.
Hi, girl.
Hi, I'm here. I'm late. I'm here.
It's okay.
My computer.
That's all right.
My stupid computer decided to shut down right when I sat down, and I'm like,
oh.
Anyway.
It always happens. That always happens.
Yeah.
Krista, are you doing the ACOTAR one? The reread?
No, I just read. Well, rereading is hard for me sometimes. I'm trying to do better at it because I really do feel like I've gained a lot in rereading, but I started rereading the ACOTAR series, and I've read, maybe it's because I've read that series so many times.
Right.
I was just like, I can't do it right now. Not that I don't love it, but I was just like, I need something else, you know?
Yeah, 100%.
I don't
get
think
you.
I reread it, or I read it in 2020, I think, and I don't think I've like fully reread it start to finish since then. I've read like parts of it because it like my favorite parts, but
Right.
so it'll be interesting to go back and just completely reread like from start to finish.
The first time I reread that series, because when I read it originally, I read them as they were coming out. Did you do that too, Carrie? Like,
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
As
So
soon
it
as
was
they
like,
dropped.
yeah, and I didn't like reread them. So when I did my full reread, like you, Tori, it was like I saw so much stuff that I didn't catch the first time, you know? So that
I'm
was cool.
excited. I'm excited.
Yeah, if you wait 2 years, then by like by the time that what is it, like the 6th ACOTAR book comes out, I'll be ready to reread them again.
I actually do want to reread Silver Flames though. That's the only one
Yeah.
that I really feel tempted to pick that one up again. So
Yeah, I feel like when I read that one, I didn't appreciate this like character story of Nesta as much as I did like when I first read it. So I'm excited to reread it and like really dive into her story even more and like appreciate it more. I don't know. I do that sometimes if it's a plot with character development. I pick one or the other and I focus. So I'm excited to reread that one too.
Did you guys hear about the graphic audio?
Sorry.
No, my bad, Crystal. About they're gonna do Throne of Glass next.
Oh, really?
Oh yeah. They dropped it. It's so funny because graphic audio was answering a bunch of questions, and this TikToker was like in there looking, and they confirmed that they're doing the graphic audio for Throne of Glass.
That's cool. That's yeah. Throne
That's
of
a
Glass
lot of people.
That is so many people.
Sorry, Crystal, I totally interrupted you. What were you gonna say, girl?
Nothing. It wasn't. I don't even remember. It wasn't important. Oh, I was just gonna say that Nesta. I love her, but she comes across so unlikable that I can totally understand like not really vibing with her story if you don't, you know. So that's all I was gonna say.
Yeah, no, I get that too. Like my friend Jen from Jen Magpie, she'll swear by Nesta. It's her favorite. This is her girl. But like for me, like it was hit or miss. Like sometimes I'd really like Nesta, but then other times I'd be like, why'd she do that? So it was like, yeah.
She's misunderstood.
She is. And I think that's, I mean, I think Sarah J. Maas does characters really well in general. I think she can. I think some of her characters can be a little bit stereotypical, I guess, in her early work. But I think Nesta is a case where you really got to see why she behaved the way she did, especially in Silver Flames. And I just love that so much. So
right. I'm glad they went. I'm glad they went so far in her backstory too.
Me too.
Yeah. Someone's doing a Devney Perry deep dive. Yeah, that's a lot. I want to read this book. I want to read.
I haven't even heard of that. What?
I got it in a Hello Lovely box. I don't know. That's the first time I heard of it. And it was like a special edition cover. But I follow Becca at Hello Lovely, and she was talking about this book, how it was so emotional, so great. And I was like, what? Yeah.
I love when I get books in a box and they end up being like my next favorite. Like, thank you so much.
I want to read the audio of Heartless and then annotate while I'm listening.
Oh, yes. I want to reread that on audio too. I've never heard of that book, Tori. That looks really, really great. I mean, the cover, I don't know if you can, this is the cover that's on Goodreads.
Yeah.
Right.
It's so pretty.
I know. I'm such a cover reader too. I'm like, oh, this is a pretty cover.
I'm so bad at that. I need to stop.
Oh my gosh, isn't that The Last Kiss? Is that on Kindle now?
It is, yeah. It's on Kindle Unlimited.
I have to download it. I saw that when you posted it, and I was like, finally.
I hope everybody. There's only been one person like grabbed it right when I talked about it, and she read it and loved it. So I'm so curious to know what everybody else thinks because I loved it. But you know, I know everything is subjective, so I'm so happy it's back in there. I think that must mean that the second book must be coming out soon because she's like back on socials again, the author.
Got it.
Who's the
Oh, yeah,
last
Crystal.
kiss by?
Anna Bloom. I'd
Yeah.
never heard of her before. She's a British author.
I think she has that Ink series, doesn't she?
I think she does. Yeah.
I
Yeah.
read that. I read that
Did
so
you?
long ago. Yeah. So like I used to only read on KU.
Yeah.
And so like whatever was there. Oh yeah, Tears of Ink. Oh, I remember this one. Oh yeah, this one. Yeah, I gave that one 5 stars.
See, I looked up all of her books and I have those because I think some of those are on AnyPlay.
Oh,
On the
okay.
Oh,
audio.
that's nice.
Yeah.
I wonder if they're on Hoopla.
I don't know. That is a good question. But I haven't picked up anything else by her. It's just I really want to, but I'm a little nervous.
Oh yeah, I had to read the blurb to like really remember. But the covers, her covers are really good. Oh, I read books 1, I read books 2, I read book 3. Apparently.
I think she does have great covers. She has like a duology that's it looks really good too. One of them is called like When We Were Young and When We Were Older. And I'm like, I don't know what that means, but I kind of like that idea. I'm hoping it's one couple and the first book is when they were young and then when they come back and get together. I would love that so much.
Oh yeah. What are you reading, Crystal? Someone wants to know.
Oh, okay, I'm trying to finish this book, Son of the Shadows. This is a fantasy. So the Juliette Marillier, Jessen got me interested in these books. This is a fantasy book, but they all have like romantic elements. And this one is I think this one is the most romantic so far because I'm only 200 pages in and they're already together. And that did not happen in the other books that I read. So I'm trying to get that finished.
Carrie, what are you reading again?
I'm reading that Tijan. I'm always gonna say Tijan now every time.
Whatever.
Tijan. That's probably how you say it. It's Tijan. And it was, what was it? It was Teardrop Shot. So
That's what it was, yeah.
it's actually it's starting out cute. So I'm excited.
I'm reading this one, Keeping 13. The thick.
Is that's the first one or the second? Wait.
It's the second one.
The second one. You liked the first one, right?
I did.
You like it?
It's one of those books that it's very character driven.
Mm-hmm.
And it's more of like this coming of age story.
I
that
like
makes
that
sense.
though, honestly.
It's very sweet.
Yeah.
Like I gave it 5 stars just because I feel emotionally attached to the characters. So it's not something I would recommend and be like, yeah, this is like spicy. There's like nothing like that. It's very
Right.
Contemporary, in your feels about the characters and what they're going through.
Right.
So, and it takes place in
Right.
Ireland, which is cool.
All of that is my favorite thing.
The audios are really good. I was telling Carrie, they're in parts. So book 1 has 2 parts and book 2 has 2 parts, and they're long, like 14 and then 10 hours, and then 15 and then 16 hours. So they're long, but they're really good. The narration is really good because they have Irish accents too.
That's wonderful. So is this next book, is it the same couple? The
Yeah.
same, yeah.
And I think
See, and-
the next book Chloe Walsh is writing, which is about her brother. So this is the couple's like last book, and I think we'll see them in the next book, but it's about her brother. I think it's coming out this year. I think I could be wrong though.
See, and I don't mind my character-driven books being contemporary. Like if it's a fantasy character-driven, then I'm like, not my favorite. But if it's contemporary character-driven, I'm okay with that.
I just like it in any genre. That's always what appeals to me is character-driven stuff.
Oh, really? Yeah.
I don't know. I'm devouring. I don't know why, but like I'm listening to the audio while I'm reading along. And I finished Binding 13 Friday night, and I told Brandon, I was like, because he has our Prime account, and I was like, I need you to order this book for me. Like, I need you to order it because I want it to get here. I can't read. I tried to read like a hockey romance, and I can't finish, or I can't like move on unless I finish their story. I'm like invested and stuck with them.
I really want to pick that up now.
The audios are on Hoopla. It is written in 2014, so it's kind of that older contemporary style, but it's very
That's
long.
Okay, you know.
Very long, very slow burn, but it's sweet. I really, really love it. And he's a rugby player, so.
So what's the first one called again?
Binding 13.
Binding 13. I'm going to look that up right
It's apparently a rugby term, and he's number 13. That's his jersey. So that's where.
They are on here. Okay.
I don't know if I'm going to do the graphic audio for the read along. I'm not sure. I haven't decided yet.
I love that.
I tried to do that and I kind of had a hard time with the graphic audio. I don't know if it was just my brain or what. They sound really cool, but I had a hard time like focusing, you know?
Yeah.
Was it too much going on?
Yeah.
See, when Brandon went through this Brandon Sanderson phase last year and he read all of his books on graphic audio and he loved them. And then I tried to read, he wanted me to read Warbreaker because it was more of the
romancy.
Yeah, he was like, I think you'd like it. So I tried it and I did enjoy it. And I actually switched to the graphic audio. I was listening to the normal and then I switched and I enjoyed the graphic audio. So I think it depends on what books they are and how they're written, if that makes sense.
That's true. I actually have listened to some of his on graphic audio now that you mentioned that. I completely forgot that they were like that. And maybe it is that I had never listened to the ACOTAR books on audio. I just read them physically. And I think when I do that, it's harder for me to get on board. Like, they're pronouncing things wrong. I don't care if that's right. That's not how I say it, you know?
That's true. I also feel like SJM's writing, though, you get a lot of like when you're reading about someone turning their head or giving someone a look this way, you don't get that with graphic audio because it's so it's just like sound effects. So I don't know. It depends on the writer or the author's writing.
Yeah, I read I didn't read the graphic audios first. I read the regular audios first. Well, actually, I read the physical copies. Then I did the regular audios, and then I did the graphic audios. So I got a nice build up to the graphic audio. So maybe that's why it was like so much more for me because I know what the regular audios sound like.
Yeah. Someone's reading from Blood and Ash. I have to go back and read that before we have a live show.
Tori, you liked Tears of Ink though by Anna Bloom because I just put that as a.
Oh no, I read Tears of Ink. That's the one. Yeah, I read it a while ago, and I think the first 3 books follow the same couple, if I'm not mistaken.
And then Crystal, you liked The Last Kiss, right?
Yes.
Okay, I just put both of those as one to read because otherwise I will never remember.
Yeah. I loved it. I don't know. I know Sam does that vlog. She's been doing that vlog series, which I think is so interesting, where she's like, is it bad timing or a bad book? And I feel like that is so true. Sometimes you just read a book at the right time. And other times you're like, I cannot be bothered to care about these idiots right now, you know?
But I also think it takes a while too as a reader for you to know that about yourself. Like I knew that with Restore Me, I was like, okay, the narration for the female character was awful. I was like, I can't do this. But I'm also, I don't think I'm in the right mindset for that kind of emotional thing. Cause like when you have your husband dies and you're moving on, that's like a thing for me. I'm like, I can't read that all the time. You know what I mean?
Right.
Well, that was one of those books where I was like, I know I'm going to love it at some point, but I just can't read it right now. But then I read In the Weeds, and I read that book at like the perfect time for me. It like spoke to my soul, and it was great. Like it was just great for me. So
I'm really curious about Jail's. I bought the audio, like I pre-ordered it when I heard it was coming out for Restore Me because I loved it, and I haven't even listened to any of it. But I actually am also reading Revive Me Part 2. So the next book, it's a trilogy with the same couple. So there's like, they're long and they're like angsty, and I know I'm going to be hurt, but I'm really curious to see how her writing translates to audio because I feel like I just read the novella she did again. And I feel like, okay, so I've read 3 books by this author and I'm starting to pick up more and more about her writing. And she really describes in depth what every character is thinking. And I think that could be hard to translate into audio because that's a lot of just introspection, just constantly poured in your ear, you know? So I'm curious to know how it goes.
Yeah, I know. I was talking to Caitlin when I posted on Instagram about it, and I was like, it's such a shame that I think we were talking about this too, Carrie, the first time or before we read, it was that when you try and do audios for a popular book and you want to get it out there, all of the really good narrators are booked up already.
Yeah,
Right.
So she just
true.
had to do with what she had. Like the male narration was great. I loved him. But her, I just, for some reason, I've never read anything. I went back and looked. I haven't read anything with her, like
Mhm.
on audio. But I was like, I can't do this. And it's such a shame because that book is so like everyone I know loves it. That's read it physically. So it just sucks that sometimes the narration just doesn't
I
turn
know.
out great.
I just added Rush by Emma Scott just because I know Caitlin was loving it to begin with. I
picked
didn't
it
know how
up.
she finished it.
I didn't even know I picked it up in the Audible sale because I tried to look
that's
up.
nice.
Yeah, I try to look up authors that like I've read before and like books
Right.
that I've just never got to or whatever. And I think I picked that. I think I picked that one a while ago.
But it's
Yeah,
interesting that you said that, Tori, because I swear Ali Hazelwood did her first book, The Love Hypothesis, with like Callie Dalton, Teddy Hamilton. She had all the good narrators. And then book 2, it was a random narrator. And I'm like, I still haven't read it yet because I'm like, I'm so nervous I'm not going to like it just because she had such great narrators for book 1 and now book 2. I'm not saying this narrator isn't good. It's just not them. So I'm like,
Yeah.
what happened?
Yeah. Someone asked, are the graphic audios okay for speeding up? I think when I listened to Warbreaker, I did like 1.5, but you have to remember there's music and sound effects and all of this stuff that if you speed it up, it just sounds like a jumbled mess. It's like you're listening to a movie at like 2 times speed and it doesn't sound good.
That's
Right,
true.
yeah.
I do remember that for sure. Yeah.
Yeah.
And sometimes they are too much. Like it's, if you are a visual person, you probably won't be able to listen to graphic audios because it's like a movie in your ears. But if you prefer to watch movies, then of course it's not going to work for you. So,
Right.
I think. Go ahead, Carrie.
Sorry, Crystal.
That's okay.
With audiobooks, I had to train myself to read audiobooks. Like I didn't just go into it being like, oh, audiobooks like that. Like I really had to train myself how to read them, how to like focus on like the words and things like that. I didn't go into them being like, oh, audiobooks were so great. I had to give like 6 a try.
yeah. Like instead of saying she scoffed, it's like, and then it'll just go. Yeah. So
Right.
it takes a while for the graphic audios to like, for you to get used to them. It's like, it's a different reading experience.
What were you going to say, Crystal? Sorry about that.
No, you're totally fine. But truthfully, I can't remember.
It
wasn't that important.
Girl, it's my age. I swear. It's like it was there yesterday.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, Anna Bloom. Sorry, I had to catch up on comments. I was just like not. Sometimes with live shows, I get so caught up in like talking, and then I forget the comments.
Girl, you're better than me. I'm just like, there's comments.
I don't know too much about graphic audio. Like I only follow the Brandon Sanderson and ACOTAR. That's it. I don't even know any of the other ones.
I don't feel like there's a ton of graphic audios.
They take a while to make. I do know that. Just because
they're probably so much more to make too. Because I heard when JJ McAvoy was making hers, it's like an initial like 10 grand, like to make just a regular audio. So yeah. I can't imagine what a graphic audio is.
Yeah, I know that it takes a lot because they all have to stand, like all of the characters, they stand in a room together. So they're narrating while they're looking at each other. Like it's like you're acting. It's very very interesting. Do you guys want to read for like 25 minutes?
Yeah.
Okay. Sure.
I have the little kitty timer.
I saw it was pink while I was waiting. I was watching on my phone while I was waiting for my dumb computer.
Yes, so. I love the pink. It's cute.
So cute.
It matches my walls, see?
It does.
It really does.
I don't ever show like my library because it's like my bookshelves take up most where I film, but like it's literally like bubblegum pink. Literally.
I love it.
Perfect. That suits you. You're pink.
Yes. We'll just read for 25 minutes and then we'll come back and talk.
Sounds great.
loud.
That cat scared the bejeebers out of me, even though I knew it was coming.
How far did you get in your reading?
I read about 20 pages, which is pretty good because the font in here is tiny. It's very small. So pretty good for me. How about you, Carrie? Oh.
Sorry, guys. I was having technical difficulty. Did you ask my question? Okay. I'm like, oh, I missed like the first minute of all this.
How was your reading?
It's just her like acclimating with the team. So like she gave them directions and they're all hazing her because she almost messed up on the directions of how to get that from like the camp to like the airport. It's cute.
What are you reading again? I forgot.
Teardrop Shot by
Tijan?
Oh, that's right.
Okay.
That's right.
Yeah. Cricket.
Yeah, the cat scares. Are you listening and reading, Crystal?
No, I was just reading. I do have the audiobook too, but
I feel like I find it, I don't know, I've been doing that with like so many audiobooks, and if I have like the physical book is if I can get the audiobook for free because I won't pay for it, but like I like listening and reading along too.
yeah. I was doing that earlier today and it was really fun, but I didn't want to switch my headphones for right now.
Oh yeah.
But
Yeah, that's what I have to do.
That's what you had to do. I'm so
right.
guilty.
I had my big headphones on, and then you have to switch to these ones
Yeah.
to do the. Yeah, I'm like.
Yeah. I am terrible about buying a book in multiple formats. I swear I do that all the time, and that's something I have got to stop doing. Like, I'll buy the paperback, and then I'll buy the audiobook, and then sometimes I'll even buy the Kindle if I want to read it in the middle of the night when everybody's sleeping. It's terrible. It's a
Yeah.
problem.
Or having multiple copies of the same book. And you're
That
like,
one is different, I feel like. Because like if you're gonna collect them, I think that's okay.
well,
think that's
this
okay.
is the problem though with Sarah J. Maas. Like, you get like the special edition here, but then like if you want to see a live, you have to buy the copy again. So it's like
Yeah.
multiple copies of the same cover of the same book. You're just like, I've got 6 of the Corded Silver Flames or something. I just need to like get rid of those.
You got a bunch of Christmas presents for this year for any women in your life or men, whatever.
Yeah, seriously, right? Oh, I meant to tell you, Tori, I looked at that Anna Bloom. The one that you read is on Hoopla, the whole series on audio.
Oh, good.
That is good.
I don't think I listened to those audios because when I read like back then, I didn't listen to audios at all. So
Right.
I'm interested to see. I remember loving that series.
Right. And yours, Crystal, is free on Kindle Unlimited.
The which one?
The one that you. Sorry, I'm like. I
Last
think
Kiss.
it's-
The
Yeah,
Last
the
Kiss,
last
yeah.
kiss. Yeah,
It
yeah.
just barely got put back on there. I'm so excited. So
I just love when you could listen to them or read them for free. I mean, obviously, Kindle Unlimited isn't free, but you pay the monthly, so.
yeah. I mean, if you read two books, I guess, if they're like $4.99 or whatever, you're pretty much good.
I did that thing where you gift it to yourself. So I gifted 2 years to myself, so it's even cheaper. Jess had a thing on her channel of how to do that, but I was like, that's brilliant.
Yeah, that's super smart. I never do that because I just keep it going. It's just
I think when I looked at my like Kindle Unlimited subscription, because I was like, oh, should I do that? Or I don't know if I should like gift it to myself or whatever. And I think I've been like a Kindle Unlimited subscriber since like 2015 or something like that.
really
Okay.
I've just-
So your rate is probably so cheap.
Yeah, that's the only thing. Like, I think I've said this before. Like, before I had books or anything, like I was right out of college. Me and Brennan just had like our tiny apartment, so I didn't buy any books at all. I just read on Kindle Unlimited. So that was like my $10 a month that I spent on books, and I went through a lot of books because that's only how I read.
I remember doing that like, I guess it was probably like 10 years ago or something when indie was just kind of starting, probably around that same time. And I was a young mom and I was poor. And I was like, let's just get these cheap books. And I read so many that way through Kindle Unlimited. But then I canceled it after, I mean, you know, I've started it. I say I keep it going. I've had it going now for about 3 years, but before then I would like stop and start.
See, I just forget about it. So even if I hadn't been reading for that month, I would just totally forget about it. And then I'd miss months where I'm like, oh man. So to gift it to myself for 2 years just made so much more sense. So if I at least read like 12 books a year, it's covered.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that's true. Yeah. I do like sometimes they have the read and listen in Kindle Unlimited, so you get the audiobook as well.
Mm-hmm. I love those.
Oh,
those
that's best.
Yeah.
I've actually been working on that as a project since like September of reading a bunch of those to review, but it's not going great, you guys. I've got like 5 to talk about, but I have a whole list of the ones that I found when I was searching one day, but
yeah, there's a lot of good ones. Like sometimes the authors will put them in and then like take them out. So like ones that I've read that used to be read and listen or not read and listen anymore. I don't know.
Yeah.
I think the first time I ever listened to an audiobook, because I had Kindle Unlimited for so long, I found a historical fiction book. Oh, what was it? I have a physical copy. I just bought a physical copy of it. And I remember reading it at work, like when I still went into the office and stuff. And I was just like blown away by the audiobook experience. But like I never, unless it was in Kindle like that, that was the only time I've ever read a like audiobook before.
I mean, I think one of the first books that I remember, I mean, I've been listening to audiobooks for a long time, but like, you know, in car rides with the kids, Harry Potter, that was what we listened to just all the time because it was like the only thing that would engage them with all the different voices and stuff.
Oh, yeah.
But I remember Six of Crows was one of the first ones that I listened to on my own. And I was like, oh my gosh, this is so good.
I have not listened to Six of Crows yet. So
you haven't?
I have not. I read it.
I'm so excited for you to listen to it. I hope you like it.
Oh, you know what? I thought I listened to it, but I think I physically read it because I still have the books on my shelf. And I think, yeah, I remember sitting and physically reading it. Ooh, I think I might get the audio for that.
I feel like it has a few like big name actors that do the voices. Like it has a whole cast because there are so many characters in it. And I was like, wow, they really pulled out all the stops with this one. So it was really good.
That's awesome.
You're just doing the duology, right, for the read along?
We are.
Okay.
Yeah. Because we all like that the best.
Yeah.
Actually, Crystal does like, so you liked one of the characters from Shadow and Bones. What was the character again?
The Darkling. I would live and die for the Darkling. Like a million, book form or show form. I don't even care. He's just a great character, you know? And I mean, like, I have, so we're doing the Vampire Academy read along too, you know? Carrie knows she's in there. And I've been talking with Jessin about this so much because we both like loved that series to pieces when we were younger, you know? And I was telling her like, I'm having a really hard time separating my nostalgia for this series with like any objectivity. And I don't know why, because it's not like I haven't read other books that I've been like that attached to, but that's similar to how I feel about the Shadow and Bone, the books. Those books kind of got me into reading when I had not been reading for a long time. So I loved them, but I've only read them the one time. So I'm sure that I would feel differently now, you know?
Right.
But I also think it's kind of similar to how Sarah J. Maas has like the Throne of Glass series, which starts out much weaker than ACOTAR did, you know? And that's, I think, similar with Leigh Bardugo and Crows and Shadow and Bone.
Yeah.
I'd have to admit though, I'm gonna miss not reading Nikolai again. I think that's how what his name is. He was one of my favorites.
He was great for sure.
He was great.
Mm-hmm.
The first live show this week, right?
Oh gosh, I hope not. Is it this week, Carrie?
I think well, girl,
no.
I don't even.
I think it's the 30th. I think it's the 30th.
Next week, next Monday. Okay.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure.
On Sam's channel.
Yeah, it is January 30th, 5:30 CST. The first 3 books. So I have 2 books to read, Brendan. But you know, I mean, that's another one of those that I'm like, I read those so many times that I pretty much have them memorized. Like that was a series that I just reread over and over again. I just really liked it. Okay.
Are you listening or physically reading them, Crystal?
I'm listening and I don't love the narrators at all. They're terrible.
My audio holds didn't come in. The first
Yeah.
one came in, but I never picked it up because like the second and third one, it's still on hold. So I'm like, I don't think I'm gonna get to this series.
The voice for
Right.
Dimitri, who is like the love interest, it's a student teacher type thing. Did you ever read him, Tori? I don't know.
Yeah.
Like the voice for him in the first book absolutely kills me. It's so terrible. It's such a terrible Russian accent. I'm like, I hate this. I hate this so bad.
I think I'll join the live show because I remember, like, you know, I feel like we all went through after reading Twilight. You go through all of the wolf shifters and the vampire romances, and I read all of those when I was younger. I think I had like the books, the physical books, but I gave them away like when I went to college.
Right.
So I remember like what happens. I don't know, but it's hard to like between the movie that came out or the TV show.
Right,
Like,
the movie.
it blends together for me.
Yeah. I was unfortunate. I saw the movie first, and then I attempted book one.
The
And
movie is so bad. It's so bad.
Well, and then I attempted book one with the audio narrators, and I'm like,
It's equally bad. Yeah, you really. Oh, that's funny. Yeah.
I do love Dimitri and Rose though.
They're so good. Like, and what do we wait? Like 6 books for them to get together? Actually, I feel like so long.
I don't think I would ever go back and read Twilight again.
oh, I never read Twilight, and I won't.
What?
It does have audiobooks. I read Midnight Sun when it came out, and it was hard for me to separate if this is a good book or is it my nostalgia that's like into this. And I've reread that. I can't tell you how many times I've reread them, and I just don't know how I want to taint the nostalgia that I have. I'm like, I think that just needs to be like kept in the past.
You know, I think that's smart because I've reread Twilight in like when the pandemic first started and it was like 2 weeks and I just wanted something comforting and I picked up Twilight and I was like, this was a bad move because it was I was sad about it. I was sad.
It's hard for me after I've seen a movie to read the books. Like I've learned that about myself. Like I saw the first Hunger Games. I did not read book 1 to Hunger Games. I read the last 2. So I went back and just kind of figured out what I missed. And I was able to pick up book 2 or book 3. But it's really hard for me after I've seen the movie to go in kind of knowing, even though the books are different, you know the premise. So then it's like, I feel like I'm just rereading at that point.
See, and I sort of feel like the opposite because I kind of get excited to see what they've changed. Like I love seeing. So where did they like? That's what I did with House of the Dragon when that show came out, and I was like obsessed with it. And then I was like, okay, I need to read the source material so I can see like where they diverged and what did they decide to pick out of this book. So I find that fascinating, but I get where you're coming from, why that wouldn't work for you. But I'm just weird and I find that super interesting.
No, I think a lot of people are like that too. That's what's great about reading. I feel like a lot of people mimic a lot of different things, but yeah, I could see that too, being like, why did they take that out?
Yeah.
So I'll tell you what, after watching Bridgerton season 2, I'm like, where is everything?
That's true. That's true.
I haven't read this series.
I read that series years and years ago. The original, like I think it was like 5 books. I freaking loved it. That was like the first Fae book I had ever read. And that was the same type of thing that used to be really popular where it took like 1 million books for them to actually get together. And that was, of course, why I was reading. But I loved them. I have not kept up with them. But I thought they were great.
For her, I liked her Highlander series better. So there's the other 5 books in the Highlander series. It's time travel. I love those. For some reason, I read the first 3 and I just couldn't get into the Fever series. But yeah, her Highlander series. If you like Fever, you'll probably like the Highlander series too.
I've read one of her Highlander books and I liked it. It was good. But I think, like, again, I read that at that time when I was like, urban fantasy type of, that was all that I wanted to read, you know. So
yeah, 100%.
Oh, the Blue Blood series, I remember that.
Oh my gosh, I love that series so much too.
Or the what is it, PC Cast and Oh, who was it?
What House of Night? That was one
Yes.
that I like could not get into, and I don't know why because everybody else loved it.
Oh my god, that one was crazy. I remember I was with I think we were at McKay's. I was with Sam, and we were just searching the YA section, and I went up to her. I was like, "Do you know this series?" She was like, "No." And I was like, "I remember one scene in the third book that happened that I was like, what is happening right now? She's having sex like against the fence outside." And I was like, "What?" Like, I don't know. I was 16 at the time, I think, or maybe 15, 16 when I read it, and I was just
Before
like,
you're selling it.
I was just blown away. I was like, what is happening? That was my first time, like, ever seeing
That stuff was not in YA books back then. I remember
No.
that. Like, I read the first one and I was like, is this YA or adult? Because it was like not at all.
Yes. I was shocked.
Yeah.
I was shocked. Oh, people were talking about Twilight.
What book was that? Was that book 3 in that series? Because I've seen these covers at secondhand bookstores all the time.
Oh yeah, there's a lot. They get thicker and thicker. I don't remember the first. It's House of Night. I don't remember the first book though. I don't know. I don't remember the titles.
Right.
Oh, someone said the audios for the Fever series.
Oh, that's disappointing, Melissa.
Yeah. I wish now that audio is becoming more prevalent that they'll redo them. You know what I mean?
Yes.
Yeah.
Especially with the good narrators and whatnot.
I
but,
want
like,
audiobooks like real. Like I want them to do audiobooks now like how that is. And that's why I'm super excited for Kendi Ryan's new novella that she's coming out with.
Me too.
I'm like, is it going to be similar to that? Like with all of this production? I don't know. I'm just really
And
excited.
she always has the best narrators. Like, I swear, if she changes narrators, I cannot listen to a Kennedy book. I mean, I will, obviously. But she just
Crystal, you had her on your channel, right?
Mm-hmm. She's absolutely amazing. Yeah.
Did she talk about changing her narrators, or is she
No.
gonna keep them pretty consistent?
I imagine she'll always have them on lock. I can't imagine them not wanting to work for Kennedy, you know. I feel like she's one of those indie authors who is always just so popular and well loved. And I think now that she got picked up traditionally, she's just on another level, you know.
Yeah, I agree.
Right.
Well, I have to go eat dinner because it's almost 7 o'clock. It's almost 7 o'clock here. Vernon just texted me. He was like, "Are you done? Dinner's done." He's actually cooked today.
Hey, good man. Good man.
Yeah. So, thank you guys for joining me.
Yeah.
Just reading
Thanks
along
for
on a
having us.
Sunday. It was really fun. Thank
It
you
was
guys
fun.
in the comments. I don't know when other reading sprints are happening. I know Tuesday night on Sam's channel, they're doing group therapy, but I don't know any other sprints other than that. But there's a lot of live shows that's happening this week too. So just subscribe to everyone. Just subscribe to everyone. But thank you guys for reading, and we'll see you later.